Nigga talking about fighting. Nigga, I'm throwing salt. Nigga, I'm doing voodoo. I'm making a nigga go crazy. You hear me? Stop playing. Bitch. Yeah. Y'all niggas laughing. Nigga ain't shit funny, bro, because I'm really ready to crash. Nigga, this the last result right here. This voodoo don't work, that nine gonna get him. On my mama. Nigga, this voodoo don't work, that nine gonna hit him. On God, boy. On God, boy. If you don't go crazy tonight, my nigga, if don't nothing happen to you tonight, that nine coming out. Tony, nigga. Tony coming out. That Nina. Yeah. You know what's up, boy. Why you sitting on here trying to pop your shit on me? Nigga, pop it on this voodoo, bitch. Fuck you talking about? Pop it.
Alright, Shalom. As always, all praises, honor, and glory goes to Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai Bahasham, Rakahakwadash, double honor to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, peace, and salutations to the elect scattered throughout the four corners of the earth. Lord willing, this one will be edifying to the elect. And as you see here in this video, the two videos that I played, the glorification of voodoo, or, dark magic or witchcraft, however you want to twist it or call it. But as the Haitians call it, the Levites, the biblical Levites, the Haitians today, there's a reason why they indulge in these type of activities, and I just want to read a few precepts. This is not meant to be too long, because they are indeed the Levites that are written about or spoken about in the Bible, because their lot was to be spiritually closer than all the other tribes to the Most High Yahweh, right? But what has happened is that we have all discontinued from our heritage, and we have all been victims of let me not even say victims, we have all been subjects to the curses, the curses written in Deuteronomy chapter 28. But most importantly, we have been discontinued from our heritage. And that's what you're seeing here with the Haitians today. That's why they're so close and drawn to voodoo, because they have been cast away along with the other tribes, and they are on the left-hand side of the Most High, which they are supposed to be on the right-hand side. But because of the curses, and being discontinued, this is the result of what we see today. However, you do have the men of the Lord, the righteous Levites coming back to the knowledge of the truth, the prophets, because the spirit of the prophets are subject to the prophets. So all of the Levites, righteous Levites in the ancient world, come back today in their lot as men of the Lord, right? So let me get let me start here in Numbers. Okay. I came across this video a couple of days ago, but the spirit hit me too. Just go into some precepts, and who these Haitians are and why they're so into these evil spirits, these familiar spirits, because the scriptures, we know it speaks about, not suffering a witch to live, and not, messing around with familiar spirits. When in their case, it's because they are close to the right hand side, the 2/3 of Levi, they're going to be joined on to the right hand side. Sorry, not the right hand side. Salakia, the left hand side, the wicked side of things spiritually. So the demons, the evil angels on the left hand side, they dabble into that type of energy, which Yahweh controls both sides, but the Levites are, Israel on the whole are only meant to be righteous and only meant to be joined unto the Most High, which Levite, the Most High himself, separated the Levites. Okay? All right, so let me just read Numbers chapter 18, verse 14. It says, everything devoted in Israel shall be thine. Actually, not here. Let me get 8. I think it is 8. All right, so this is Numbers chapter 8, verse 14, and it says, thus shalt thou separate the Levites from among the children of Israel, and the Levites shall be mine. Right? The Most High specifically said that the Levites will be his. Okay? And if we go back to let's go to verse 19, chapter 19. This is Numbers chapter 18. My apologies, verse 14 or 20. Let me see which verse. And it says, and Yahweh spake unto Aaron, thou shalt have no inheritance in their land, neither shalt thou have any part among them. I am thy part, and thine inheritance among the children of Israel. Okay? So that's very important to note. Right? Yahweh is the Levites' inheritance. Right? When you go into their name itself, let's see here in Genesis. Because everything is spiritual, man. What do people do in righteousness? They show a reflection in wickedness as well. That's why you see the Levites joining onto the wicked spirituality on the left hand side with the dark spirits. Okay, so this is Genesis chapter 29, verse 34, and it says, and she conceived again and bare a son, and said, now this time will my husband be joined unto me, because I have borne him 3 sons. Therefore was his name called Levi. And Levi means join. Let's get it. When you go into the word Levi, this means join to. So join to Yahweh, join to the Most High, join to God. So that's why, they're like that, as I keep reiterating here. Okay, so let me see. What's the next precept I wanted to go into here? So the Most High, as I mentioned, as I read, is their inheritance, right? Because their job is to, they're priests. Their job is to, keep the knowledge and in the ancient world and preach the law, teach the law, teach Jacob, the judgments and all the statutes, right? Um, yeah, because the Levites received the priesthood. And if you take a look today, like in Haiti, Haiti has a special type of judgment, and if you just look at that spiritually, they kind of, out of all the Caribbean countries, they have been dealt with the worst because of the spiritual wickedness that they have committed, right? That the Lord has put the spirit on them to go off, go off into it, as a judgment, because the Lord only knows Israel in general. Of all the families of the earth, the Lord only knows Israel, as it's mentioned in Amos. The Lord only knows us. And how much more so the Levites that are joined unto him. All right? Because this is ultimately what their lot is. This is Ezekiel chapter 44, verse 15. And it says, "But the priests, the Levites, the sons of Zadok, that kept the charge of my sanctuary, when the children of Israel went astray from me, they shall come near to me to minister unto me, and they shall stand before me to offer unto me the fat and the blood, saith Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai." Okay, but what are they doing today? They're offering up sacrifices on the left hand side, right? On the wicked side, and that's just a part of the story. That's just a part of the movie, so to speak. All of Israel was prophesied to go off, but the beautiful thing is that we have returned. The remnant has returned. The hopeful elect has returned. So the righteous Levites are back today, with their zeal and their love for Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, with that spirit, that's joined onto the Most High, because that's their inheritance, right? And let me see what else I have here. And I can just read that some more. Let's think. Deuteronomy chapter 8, or is it 10? Deuteronomy chapter 10, verse 8. Let me start at 8. And it says, and at that time the Lord Yahweh separated the tribe of Levi to bear the ark of the covenant of Yahweh, to stand before the Lord, to minister unto him, and to bless in his name unto this day. Wherefore Levi hath no part, no inheritance with his brethren, because the other tribes have different inheritances, right? And it says, Yahweh is his inheritance according as Yahweh thy power promised him. Okay, so it's easy to see, if you have eyes to see and ears to hear, you clearly see that the Haitians today, they are, individuals that are amongst, the children of Israel, the Israelites in general, any Israelite that's, super into, witchcraft and voodoo, most likely they are, Levites through the spirit, because that's what they would be doing today. The Lord always, leaves those type of hints, those type of characteristics. And what I mean by that is that our people will have the characteristics, of their names, the meanings of their names, and the inheritance and things that are written about them in the scriptures of our forefathers, describing, the different tribes. So when it comes to Levi, it's very easy to see that the Levites predominantly are the Haitians. Predominantly, because not just because you're from Haiti means you're a Levite, but predominantly the Haitians are Levites, because you're going to have Levites scattered throughout the whole four corners of the earth, scattered throughout the four corners of the earth. You can have Levi's in the continent of Africa, in Asia, definitely in Babylon the Great, even in Jamaica, right? Jamaica is very, very, voodoo is obia, as they call it in Jamaica, is very common. So you're going to have a lot of Levites here as well, a part of the remnant and also a part of the 2/3. And how do you differentiate a righteous Levite? Righteous Levite will be, preaching the word of Yahweh Shem Shai. And a wicked Levite will be indulging in witchcraft, obia, voodoo, right? Black magic. Okay. Let me see. All right. Bear with me here. All right. So, yeah, that's pretty much it, man. The point is that, the Levites are spiritually closer to Yahweh because of the inheritance, because Yahweh is their inheritance. That's what they were given as an inheritance, being joined unto the Most High, that closeness, that spiritual closeness, right? Doesn't mean that they're more important than all the other tribes. It just means that they're spiritually closer. That's their lot. Originally their lot. So when you see Haitians today, when I see videos like the one that I played, I'm not surprised. Yes, so when you see these type of videos, it's simple. These are the biblical Levites, right? So with that, as always, I just want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakaha Kodash, Abad Babal Shalom.